Hello everyone and welcome to the first part of the dreaded silence challenge, today with the ships KuroKen, AsaNoya and KyoHaba. I know that many of you are probably waiting for the next part of A Slippery Slope, which, don't worry, it is in progress and it will be done very soon, but I have written nothing but Polish ships for the past month, so I think we need to give the other ships a fair chance again. Yeah, enjoy! One last thing, shout out to Hiatus Mercs and her The Loud Ones Go Quiet challenge. It inspired me greatly to do this. I wanted to take my own spin on it, and now let's go. Nishinoya sat on their bed, arms crossed and brows knitted together in a frown. His fingers tapped impatiently on his upper arm as he tried to come to terms with this situation. As soon as a challenge was suggested, he had quickly and wholeheartedly volunteered to participate. Who could have known that it would be such a stupid one? He huffed, annoyed and already bored out of his mind. What the hell was he supposed to do now? Already planning your next trip? As he appeared in the doorframe, he wore a simple, light grey, loose t-shirt that looked way too good on him to be considered fair. After all, Noya couldn't compliment him with his usual enthusiasm today, and it bugged him. He simply nodded and hummed non-committedly, while forcing his muscles to relax. A deep breath, and his eyes returned to the laptop display in front of him. Look, this one looks interesting. Maybe we could even go there together. He did his best to make his voice sound monotone and uninterested, but it just came out weird, almost sarcastic. He frowned. He stepped closer, and Noya could see the nervous twitch of his fingers he always got when he was uncertain about something. He looked at the destination Noya had in mind and nodded slowly, throwing unsure glances at the smaller occasionally. Yeah, looks good. I think if we plan it for next month, I can make time for that. He smiled warmly and reached out to take Noya's hand in his. The former libero let him, but didn't make any attempt to initiate or deepen the contact. Nor did he respond with excitement as Asahi agreed. Just a simple nod and proceeding to book the necessary tickets. You? He felt a prickling under his skin at the lack of stimuli. Having to sit still like this was torture, and he could barely focus. Is everything alright? His voice was gentle and comforting as his touch. An underlining current of concern swung with his tone, but he made sure to keep it subtle. Of course. Why wouldn't I be? Calm and monotone. Never too much, always calm. He could see the worry crease between Asahi's brows deepening. Worry became evident on his face as the other hand wanted Noya's cheek to cap it gently and look him straight in the eyes. A smaller curse internally. Whenever Asahi looked at him like that, so directly and caring, he couldn't help but wish to give him the world. It was unfair. His heart broke seeing the confusion in his boyfriend's eyes, and he was on the edge of simply wrapping him in his arms and reassuring his gentle giant until all the uncertainty would fade. But then he'd lose the challenge, and Noya never lost a... Please, tell me what's wrong, you. You're never this quiet. Are you mad at me? He couldn't do this. In the blink of an eye, his resolve crumbled, and he launched himself forward into his boyfriend's arms. He clung to him as tightly as he could. No. Of course I'm not mad at you. Asahi let out a small sound that sounded between shocked and choked. Immediately, Noya loosened his grip a little and grinned at him sheepishly. You sure? Because I just said I would accompany you on your next trip. And you haven't yet showered me in every possible dangerous activity we can do when we are there. You always try at least once to convince me to try rock climbing or... Oh, are you interested? I have a list. Wait, it was somewhere over here. They offered a really cool course on paragliding and... Nishinoya went on, and while part of Asahi was glad to have him back as usual, he wasn't quite sure how to get out of this again. Bad enough that his boyfriend was doing all these risky things by himself, but he surely would die of a heart attack before it even started. The door closed behind him with a low thud. It startled him even though it shouldn't have, and he flinched. The whole day he couldn't help but be distracted. His mind was preoccupied with the challenge Atsumu had proposed in the group chat, and he foolishly agreed to. It wasn't that he doubted Kiyotani, and if he interpreted the wary glances he threw at him this morning correctly, he had long since noticed that something was off. But he didn't say anything. It presented him with a newfound curiosity turned into worry. If something was wrong with either one of them, would they be able to handle it? Whenever Kiyotani was upset, he knew he needed some distance before they'd cuddle and Yahaba would shower him in reassurance. Was he trying the same thing? Distance? Would they talk about it later? Was that what he... Shigeru. He flinched again, more noticeably this time as his heart started racing at the unexpected disruption of his thoughts. The voice, however, was very familiar, and immediately he calmed down as he recognized his boyfriend. He would have almost walked by without even noticing him. Sheepishly, he turned around and looked at him with the poor excuse of a reassuring smile. I'm sorry, I was so deep in thoughts. I didn't even notice you there. Kiyotani frowned and Yahaba's heart sank. Were we meant to meet today? After work? I'm so sorry, I forgot. Really, No. He said it slowly, choosing his next word deliberately. Careful. I wanted to surprise you. You seemed off today, and I wanted to make sure you are alright. The wait isn't long. I would have been home in a couple of minutes, you know? Kiyotani hummed noncommittedly, still eyeing him with an analyzing gaze. You also forgot your umbrella. He presented him with the clear umbrella Yahaba usually carried with him hanging from his arm. I didn't want you to get wet, in case it rained. For a moment, Yahaba looked at him incredulously. Then he laughed. Kiyotani's cheeks and ears took the subtle color of cherry blossoms in spring, and he wordlessly offered him his hand, which Yahaba took swiftly and intertwined their fingers. In case it rained. You're right. So considerate of you to think of that. Whatever would I do without you? Shiga. His complaint fell on deaf ears as they walked home hand in hand under a cloudless sky. Kenma, He paused. He almost forgot the challenge, though forgot might not have been the right word. He had thought about the possible outcomes of this the whole way home. Just when he actually arrived, habit kicked in. A small chuckle passed under his breath, and he put off his shoes to the side as he stepped into the hallway. There was no sign of the blonde gamer nearby. Not as he arrived, and not when he went to the kitchen to make himself a tea and assess the food situation. They'd have to go grocery shopping soon, and he would have to get creative with dinner today. He sighed and considered greeting Kenma in his room, where he was probably occupied with the game, but decided that would defeat the purpose of the challenge. Ultimately, a yelp escaped his throat and his heart jumped in his chest as he turned around. Out of nowhere, the game head appeared behind him, giving him a minor heart attack. Jeez, Kenma, what was that for? Not my fault if you're so inattentive. He poured himself a cup of tea as well, while placing an empty energy drink can off to the side. Kuroo would have loved to tease him about it, or at least remark how unhealthy it was, or in the very least annoy him with cuddles and a kiss on the cheek, but he held back. Without another word, he took his cup and turned to sit on the couch and go over some documents for work. From the corner of his eye, he could see Kenma observing him. He knew that his kitten was perceptive, which made guessing when he'd pick up on the change all the more interesting. Any idea for dinner? His hands fumbled with the cup and he pushed it subconsciously over the counter. Kuroo just shrugged his shoulders. He'd think of something later. Kenma nodded slowly, confusion settling on his face. Put off by Kuroo's odd behavior, he searched the cupboards and fridge, visibly coming to the same conclusion as him. I'll order takeout from the shop down the street. You want the usual? At that, he looked up, now confused himself. You don't like that shop? Kenma shrugged his shoulders, already typing on his phone to find the right app. The ramen are okay. Kuroo observed him puzzled as the smaller proceeded. The last time he wanted to drag him there for a date, he wouldn't stop complaining until Kuroo agreed for a Mario Kart date on the couch. Though, then again, that might have just been because he tried dragging this vampire outside into the sunlight for the first time in days. Still, even as Kenma put down his phone, he didn't return upstairs to edit or play. Usually around this time, they'd sit huddled up together on the beanbag in his gaming room, and Kuroo would tease him while he played. He feigned annoyance at that, but other times claimed that it was the best training for esports events to not get distracted. Now Kenma sat down on the couch next to him before letting himself fall against his side and observing his laptop monitor alongside him. What's that? Work. He looked up at him with those soft, golden eyes that could quite literally make Kuroo fall to his knees and fulfill his every wish if he just asked. Now they narrowed in a different kind of annoyance he couldn't quite place. What? You did work. Now you're home. That's enough. You work from home the whole day. Kenma shook his head. Not the whole day. Right, I forgot that you only got up at 12. Kenma punched him on his arm, and he couldn't help but let a small laugh slip. He tried to refocus on the documents, but Kenma slowly but determined closed his laptop, giving him just enough time to object if it was crucial. Kenma, it's not healthy. You tell me that all the time, hypocrite. He played with the seam of his sleeve, seemingly very focused on the patterns in the fabric. I guess you're right. They sat in silence for exactly 3 seconds until Kuroo couldn't bear the tension between them anymore and snuck his arms around the blonde. So, what do you want to do this evening? A smile tucked the corners of Kenma's lips upward as Kuroo finally reciprocated his affection, and he sat up in the tallest lap while turning around. He placed a soft kiss on Kuroo's forehead, which the other returned by kissing the tip of his nose, making Kenma snort in laughter at how sappy that was. What do you need? He snuggled up to his chest, listening to his heartbeat while waiting for a reply. You. A quiet chuckle resonated in his chest, and instead of teasing him about it, Kenma simply replied, You can have me. Thank you so much for watching to the end. I hope you liked it. I felt like writing something sappy today. And I love KuroKen, so I definitely have to write more for them again. Please leave a like and subscribe if you like this and don't want to miss out the next parts. Tell me, in today's part, who won? Who won this challenge? And who was your personal favorite? Also, don't worry, a slippery slope, the next part will come out very soon, tomorrow if everything goes okay. Special thanks to my Neckos, you are the absolute best. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. If you also want to support the channel, click the join button under this video or check out my other social media or even better other videos in the end card. And now I hope you have a wonderful and amazing day. Bye!
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.